It's time for Joe's show I've got for you.
I'm sorry, John. I thought I heard a applause. I took a bow. I'm sorry, John.
Got a great show for you tonight, Joe, really.
Forget about the show. We always have a good show. Did you give me a nice crowd tonight?
Oh, listen. Hey.
That's all I wanted.
I know.
After the show, I said, I think he's done more for senior citizens than Social Security. He is white.
And another pal of yours from Philadelphia, Buddy Greco.
Buddy Greco. He sings like Buddy. Get out. You talk about...
Buddy is here.
I used to be a golf nut. He is a golf nut.
He is, huh?
Oh. Anytime his wife does his shirts, she has to iron them with a 9-iron. You wouldn't believe it. She takes a... Get out, folks. That's it. I remember this crowd from I Got It. I know. Yes.
All right, and Brother Theodore. Oh, what a night to have Brother Theodore, huh?
You know, we're very lucky. We're lucky to have Brother Theodore.
Why? Why are we lucky?
Because this is his national holiday. He doesn't usually work on his holiday.
Oh.
He came backstage.
Oh, is he wild?
Yes, he is.
It's good to know where he is, though, you know, on a night like
No, he's a very nice man.
He is.
He's a very nice man. A little mixed up, you know, but a nice guy.
But I love his hairdo.
Yes.
It is kind of wild. It's hey, Jenny Smith, beautiful gal.
She's a lovely, lovely young lady who sings a very, very pretty song.
She and I were cousins, and we grew up together in that house. But we grew differently. I was ill of health, always wrapped in gloom, while she, swift, nimble, graceful, tiptoed through the tulips. Hers were the peasant dances in the village, ramble in the wind on the hillside, the galloping on horseback through the woods. Mine was the withdrawal, the anguish, the searching into dark things. She roamed through life, plucking its flowers, laughing, singing, cackling like a hen. Lisolotta Bindel, hauntress of my dreams, your image is vivid before me. Your wind-blown hair, your witching eyes, your fragrant lips, your lovely young form. There is nothing like a dame, folks. Take my word for it. Who days and places lost beyond recall, O fairyland forlorn. Athlete's foot. A sudden fit of athlete's foot befell her, took hold of her feet. Her body, her mind, and her habits, and in a manner most subtle, most hideous, corrupted the very essence of her being. Will you believe me? In the brightest days of her beauty, I had never desired her as I desired her now, a sickly, frenzied passion for that itchy chick. Began to obsess me. Oh, an incomprehensible craving. And in an evil moment of a rain-gray afternoon, I brought up the question of necking. A woman runs a terrible risk with a man like me. Buchweizengrütze, she said, and I still didn't know where I stood. I dragged myself back to the library, and there, in that sad room, in that dark gloom, I suffered like a beast. From outside, like remote drums, came the monotonous beat of the rain. A gust of wind rustled through the leaves, and as I started up, she stood before me, Lisolotta Bindel. She spoke no word, and I I could only stare at her. Her hair fell over her temples like sauerkraut. Her face was sweaty like a chunk of rancid pork. Covered all over with pipple popples and slushy pips. And as I stared and stared, her lips parted, and in a smile of maiden modesty, her teeth revealed themselves to me. Would I had never seen them, or having seen them, died. The moving of a curtain, the closing of a door, Lisolotta Bindel had left the room, but my mind still clung to the image of her teeth. Not one speck on their surface, not one shadow on her their enamel had escaped me. They had burned themselves into my memory. They had bitten themselves into my brain. They were small, narrow, and pointed, cold and capricious. They glistened like rusty nails in the moon. Those teeth, those glittering teeth, those luring, beckoning, promising, quivering pearls of teeth. They were my destiny. They are my destiny. They alone can bring me peace. Know what I mean, folks? Lisolotta Bindel, no good hussy and cheap floozy. The hell with her. You can have her with bells on. I want her teeth. I want them now. Now. Is there a dentist in the house?
Brother Theodore, we shall... you have again afforded us a rare moment on television. And this is not your first appearance on our show, and I've always said whenever you're in Los Angeles, please come visit with us. Now, if I may get serious for just a moment, I would like, if you would not mind, for the public, describing what is your philosophy of life.
Well, you spring this question very suddenly on me and very unexpectedly. It's almost impossible to give in a few minutes a philosophy of life. Where should I start? I have always been very, very interested in people, but I've never liked them. You see, don't now sit in judgment on Theodore.
No, I'm not sitting, that's why I'm asking.
No, I have my secrets and my sorrows, and to be Theodore is no bed of roses. I detest everything I stand for. To me, the most nourishing part of an apple is always the worm. I feel bad when I feel good, and I'm afraid I'll feel worse when I feel better. The devil created me in his own image, doomed, but not without grandeur. And, you know, my obvious pessimism is greatly aggravated by the fact that I'm an incurable insomniac. I toss and turn all night until the wee hours of the morning. I knew that eventually I would catch up with their tastes.
May I ask you a rather personal question, and you, of course, do not have to answer. But I would just like to know whether or not you came from a happy home. Now, I know that sounds like a joke, but I just wanted to know, because I have found through our underground spy system that yours is a rather terribly cultured background.
Yes, I was brought up to be the heir to the Irish throne. And to answer your question more precisely, yes, I do come from a very, very happy home. My popsy and mumsy did everything together. They spent their day and their nights. They spent their nights hunting and squashing bed bugs. My mumsy would point them out to my popsy, and then my popsy would squash them for sentimental reasons. Does this in some way, in a fractional way, in a fragmentary way, answer your question whether I come from a happy home?
Yes, it sounds like any normal. I also wanted to know, as many times as I've met you and spoken with you, I've never found out anything about you. For example, do you have hobbies? How do you spend your leisure time?
Well, I'm a reasonably busy man. I get up with the birds and lie down with the pigs. The nincompoops in the audience greatly outnumber the compoops. Well, I walk up and down Fifth Avenue just to give the tourist trade a boost in New York. I play chess very much.
You must be a very good chess player.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, your conception of comedy and mine differ. I'm happy to say. Well, I fiddle around. I'm, as I told you in my recollection, I'm inordinately fond of necking. I fiddle around, I kill time, but I'm afraid time is killing me faster. And sometimes I tinker with the forces of darkness. This is my super-duper darkness shirt.
Oh.
Yeah. This, of course, will get me nowhere.
No, but it's kind of a slight insight to Brother Theodore. Do you recall having met Mr. Begley some 20 years ago?
Well, he told me that he saw me when I was performing somewhere in an indoor outhouse here. I didn't see him. He was in the audience.
Yes.
And he didn't even have the decency. You didn't have the decency, sir, to come backstage and ask me for an autograph.
May I please tell Joey the circumstances under which I first became aware
you
of
may,
you?
But I shall interrupt you any time I
okay.
feel ready.
About 20 years ago, on Cahuenga Boulevard, I believe it was, there was a bus station. And up a flight of stairs in a room over this bus station, Theodore was performing. And I had heard about this and had obtained tickets somehow and made my way down there and up the stairs. And unfortunately, I had gotten there after the performance was started. And I got as far as the door, and I heard Theodore performing inside. And honestly, now, I'm not trying to make a joke. I'm not trying to make any derogatory remarks. I was too frightened to go in. So help me God. That's the truth.
You never saw the performance?
I never saw it. I crept down the stairs. I never went in.
But, sir, you must be mistaken as far as the time is concerned. It cannot be 20 years ago because I'm 18 now.
Well, it could have been 23 years ago.
Are you implying, sir, that both of us are escapees from the galloping senility ward?
Well, I know I was very young at the time. I think that was partly the reason for my trepidation.
Would you like a little more water, brother?
No, I have lots and lots and lots of water left right
Okay.
here. Mr. Bagley has a very beautiful, very handsome, very classic face.
Yes.
I mean, why was I given this paunchy stomach, this shapeless legs, this crooked nose, these blubber lips?
Maybe you're lost.
Failure! If I only knew which road to take. I've talked to my popsy and mumsy. They don't care, they are dead. They both died years before I was born.
We'll be right back after a word from your local station. Brother Theodore, as you can obviously see, we are setting up for a group. They are called the Strawberry Alarm Clock. This is their latest album, Incense and Peppermints, and it's on Universal City Records.
I couldn't care less.
I just want to tell you that I met them backstage, and they're not too crazy about you either.
That flatters me.
Huh? Odetta. Buddy Greco can be seen at the Sands Hotel until November the 14th. Thank you, Mr. Ed Begley, for being a guest on my show tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Brother Theodore. Happy Halloween. And Jenny, thank you so much for being so understanding, and you will be on next week. And thank you so much. Good night. Have a nice Halloween.